Hey there, mystical souls. Welcome and thank you for joining me on this full moon live YouTube video. I really appreciate everybody who is joining me. If you are new, my name is Patricia Tate and I am with Willow Grace Astrology. I am an evolutionary Western and evolutionary astrologer, which means I dive into your past to want to understand your future, and traditional astrologer, which traditional Westerner. So I use whole sign and I use Placidus. If you are a regular here, thank you for supporting me and welcome back. So glad that you are here. There's so many great things that are going to be going on. I just had my first Transit Talk webinar. And if you want to jump in and go back and look at that one, it was on the nodes. It is for sale at a reduced price on my website. If you are interested in joining us for the next one, they will be once a month. This next one is going to be understanding your nodal story with understanding your south node of where you've come in from. And the first 45 minutes of it is a brief lesson. These are meant to be introductory lessons. And then the second 45 minutes is meant to be where we unmute, unmic, start our video, and we share each other's charts in order to practice what we've just learned. So hopefully you will join me for that. There will be a link in the comment section. And yeah, it is $30 for that. So it's called Transit Talks. So excited that you're here. Hey, Grand Chiefess, how are you? Okay, so I am here every other Tuesday. I go live on every other Tuesday, offering either a new moon or full moon consultations. Now, it doesn't have to be on, usually what happens is people give me their birth information, I pull it up and I roam around on the chart and I circle things for you because I want you to, I teach first and I want you to understand what I'm talking about and why these things are going on in your life. Yeah. All right. And as I have to go, I don't know what that means. You have to go something. Okay. I am super excited everybody is here. So happy. Hey, Angie. Angie is in the house. Good evening. Super glad that you're here. All right, so let me start off with talking about today's energy, or what will be the energy that's coming up. All right, so first thing I want to start off with is there's going to be this full moon. So full moon is always a opposition between the sun and the moon, and this is going to happen at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. So if you have any planets at or around the 2-degree mark of Sagittarius or of Virgo or of Pisces or of Gemini, this will affect you greatly. The sun is currently in Gemini, so happy birthday all Geminis out there. So we have like the beginning of Gemini season, so I'm happy about that. And now this week has a lot of big things happening. So the first thing, Gemini season, the sun ingresses into the sign of Gemini. Then on Thursday, we're going to have a full moon. Full moons, remember, are always about revealing, closures, endings. The unique thing about this full moon is the ruler of it is Jupiter, and Jupiter happens to be in a conjunction at 29 degrees with Venus. And so we know that it's ending of a major chapter, and Jupiter is lending its hand to Venus saying, let's expand this. Love, beauty, money, resources, cash, bringing people together, higher thinking, taking classes, workshops, travel, merging all of this energy together. And then on Saturday, the 25th, Jupiter is going to move into the sign of Gemini. Now, this is really big because it's going to be here for the next year. It stays in a sign for 12 to 13 months. So we know that all of this is happening. Now, I want to go back to the full moon again. Whatever is ending for you at that 2 degrees Sagittarius mark, the important thing about this is Jupiter, when it comes into Gemini later this week on the 25th, it's going to be within close proximity of opposing whatever it is that you are ending and then this new beginning. Remember that the full moons are about revelations, revealing, and so an opposition is I oppose this. I'm looking at this and I'm not comfortable with this, and something has to change about this. And so this is huge with big endings and closures, but it's also we are in all of our inner planets are moving direct. So everybody is in this, let's launch, let's start something big, let's begin something now. So everybody's in this free period of manifesting great things, May, June, and the first 2 weeks of July. So Jupiter is going to go into the sign of Gemini, and the first thing it will do is oppose it, and it will be revealing maybe some things where I need to have this information. I need to explore this. And then the reason I bring this up is because July of 2025, Uranus will be at the same spot that Jupiter, the Sun, and the Moon are. So know that there's a bigger theme that's going on right now and a smaller theme of endings and closures. All right, so let me see who all's in the chat, and let's get this going. So Milica, I am so glad that you are here. I believe that you are second in the queue. Hey, Mopsy, how are you? Yes, he does. He loves you, he does. Sunshine Toasty Grandma. Oh, you have Neptune. I love Neptune. I have Neptune conjunct my South Node. A little sometimes difficult to work with, but you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. All right, so let's talk about this and let's move on. So let me move this on over and bring up my first. There we go. All right. So hopefully Tonga is in the chat because this is your chart and you are first in the queue. All right. So you asked me about the new moon that was on May 7th. And so what I did was I put your chart with the new moon, and then you are working on a goal, and then you're also having a Chiron return. So let's talk about that in general. Now, you started something, you had this new moon. I absolutely love this new moon in your fifth house of I'm willing to take a risk. I'm ready to give birth to something. The fifth house is the house of children. It's the house of creativity. It's art, it's music, but it's also where do I want to take a risk? Now, you are ready to start something bigger. Now, you also had this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Now, that is aiding of the planting of the seeds. The seeds are for right now and they are for longer. Remember, Taurus is an earth sign, so it's like planting seeds in the earth that can grow over time. What I love about this is that it trines your first house of self. So we know that it's all about you, your comfort, your habits. The first house is your identity. And so this is you saying, I need to start this. I want to begin this. What does this look like as I manifest this? Let's go back and address the Chiron. So, no, I'm going to finish this before I move on to your Chiron. What's going to happen with this is this whole Gemini information here. For this, all of these planets are going to be moving into Gemini. The reason it's important is because your South Node is here. How do I release? What do I release? That could be bad habits. It could be gossiping. It could be giving too much to other people, because the sixth house is how do I take care of myself? How do I nurture myself? What opposes is your North Node. What are you supposed to be focused on? Jupiter things. You're going to have this full moon. So I want to add to the story. So you had this new moon where you planted these seeds. There's going to be something that you're going to be releasing, something that's going to be revealed. It could be secrets. It could be we know that the 12th house usually represents affliction, institutions, dreams, intuition, hidden enemies, our shadow self. You having to dive deep. Now, it's conjunct Neptune, so Neptune makes it a little bit blurry. I'm trying to see my way forward. I'm trying to follow this path with hope and faith and belief, but I cannot always see what's at the end. And the North Node in Sagittarius is more of a, I have to have belief that there's something else out there, and that would be paying attention internally to your intuition, your guides, and you have the ruler of it in Pisces. Okay, and your sun is in Pisces. Look, I love all this. I love this stellium here. It is in a square to your 12th house. So I want to add like one more layer of it. So yes, you did perfect to set out this new moon intention. The full moon is going to have some endings of you isolating yourself, or the 12th house can also be an ending to not understanding some things. So it could be, yay, I finally understand what that symbolism in my dreams mean, or a connection to somebody. The 12th house is a connection to the divine, but it's also where we have self-sacrifice, and it's about things that take us away from our everyday life. And so you needing to find a balance between what you give to others, because the sun is going to be moving into your 6th house. Like all of these planets, let me get rid of all this. All of these planets are going to be moving into your 6th house. And so as they slowly move into your 6th house, it's going to activate your south node, your north node, your moon, your Neptune, and it's going to square all of this energy here. Now, as a sun in Pisces, watery, intuitive, psychic, is that my energy? Is that your energy? Like, how do I get a handle on this? How do I find a balance in this? All of these planets moving into your 6th house will definitely have you like information overload. What I think that having this full moon with the North Node with your Neptune is going to offer you is, I can be outside, I can do things with others, but I also need to take care of myself, and I need to have a place to withdraw to. I need to make sure that happens. All right, so I want to talk about your Chiron return. The thing with the Chiron return is, when you were having your Chiron return, it was also during an eclipse. And so Mercury was stationed retrograde. Mercury went across your wound. It has something to do with your home, your family, your traditions. It could have something to do with your personal life or ancestors or family relationships, or the way you were brought up. So we had Mercury go across this area of your life, and it brought up all kinds of feelings, and it brought up everything that had to do with you. It also is squaring, like you're having a Mars square, your first house of where you have your natal Mars. And so it was uncomfortable. It was, I have to initiate these changes. What am I going to do this? And then Mercury went retrograde, went over it again. And the reason was supposed to be offer quick healing. Go over the area 3 different times, over it, back, and over it one more time. The reason it goes over it the 3rd time is to say, has enough time gone by that I can now look at my wound and look back at it with a lesson of, if I wouldn't have gone through this, I couldn't have had this. Yours is at 21 degrees. Oftentimes the degrees of your natal Chiron is the age that you experienced your wound. So we can either say at or around the age of 21, you either realized something or something bigger happened. And this Chiron return was really bringing it to the forefront, saying, I have to address this. I have to be able to move forward. I have to heal, and not just heal. I'm not a survivor. I'm going to thrive. I'm going to look at what are the gifts that came from this. I want to throw out one more thing before I move on, because all of this is the bigger story of what's going on with you. With this abundance happening, or the shock and surprise. Remember, Jupiter offers the abundance, Uranus offers liberation. You're having a Uranus opposition. Oftentimes we call it like a midlife crisis of we look back and say, what is going on? Where am I going? And what should I do to move forward? So the fact that you are taking this liberation as an opportunity to plant seeds and to grow something that has to do with healing of self and having a healthy home, I think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And so moving forward, I am super excited. Okay, just one more thing. Because the North Node is in your 4th house and the South Node is transiting your 10th house, we know that you have about 9 more months that these are going to be on this axis, that you are going to be working towards manifesting this. So we know that it's an Aries energy. Tonga, I have to create this home. I have to purchase this home. I have to, my foundation, I have to build it. It has to do with property and traditions. And I have to surround myself with either people that are family or people that feel like family, like create your own. And so that's what the nodes going through your 4th and 10th activate. It will square your 1st house of self, but that will just push you outside of your comfort zone, knowing that that's what you are supposed to do. So I'm hoping that all of this makes a lot of sense to you. I want to take one more look around before I move on. Knowing that Jupiter is going to be going into your 6th house and activating your South Node, opposing your North Node, it's really going to bring a lot of abundance of information that has to do with your mental, physical, spiritual, psychological health, well-being, and looking at alternative ways. So you are not isolating yourself, but you are exploring other avenues. The North Node in Sagittarius in the 12th house is usually exploring things that are hidden, like let's say it would be palmistry, or let's say it's the Akashic Records or astral travel. It's things, it's like taboo topics, exploring things privately because you're doing it in the 12th house. And so you are supposed to be gathering more information about otherworldly things that are out there. And whether you do that from your own home, but definitely let Neptune lead you as into the direction of the flow of. So Tonga, I am super excited for you to like, this is going to be a really it's going to be a really good time for you to be setting up this home and creating this healthy foundation. Knowing that the South Node is going to be sitting on top of your Pluto. Pluto is like this trauma signature that everybody has, and it's no growth comes without change. And so you're going to be like a caterpillar, just changing, evolving, and growing. So you planted those seeds knowing that a lot will come from it, and you don't know exactly what, but it's going to be something bigger than what you thought. So Tonga, I really appreciate you trusting me, and I'm excited that you are here, and you have a lot of great things going on in your chart. All right, thank you very much. All right, so let me see who is next in the queue. All right. Hold on here. I want to do a bi-wheel. There we go. All right, I'm really hoping that I'm saying the name right, and it's, I think it's Milica, or, yeah, I'm really hoping that I'm saying it correctly. I'll look in the queue. All right. Patty Graham, who just booked a reading but forgot your info, add it in there, and Jake will take care of it. Let's see. I don't see any. Okay, so, but I know you're in the room, so I'm just hoping that I say your name correctly. All right, so you gave me free reign.
She's in there.
Okay, so I absolutely love when I have free reign. So let's talk about you. So first thing I notice is that you are having a south node in your first house going through all of these like it's a stellium in the sign of Libra. And you have the north node in your seventh house of partnership. So what that usually means is I need to, oh, I'm sorry, let me look in the chat. Your finances or anything that you think I should know. I'm going to come back to your finances. Absolutely, because this is going to affect your finances. All right. Sorry. Thank you. All right. So the nodes tell an 18-month story, and they're going to be overlapping. What's going to happen is, okay, so you've been on this path. I want you to think back to last September, October. There were eclipses that were going through your first house and your seventh house. The seventh house is not only about love, but it's about contractual agreements or contractual negotiations between two people. It's clients and business, and between you and somebody else, you going after that. So I don't know exactly what your career or your job is, but the north node in the sign of Aries in your seventh house means I need to go after it. You're having this Mars opposition. If you look, you have Mars in your first house. South node is like sitting there on top of it, and you have Mars opposing it. So what happened is a year ago, you started something. So if you think back a year, what did you initiate? It had something to do with your first house of self. And then it takes 2 years for Mars to travel around the chart. I bring this up because there's going to be two things that happen to you this year that are kind of big that will reflect with this Mars here. You're going to have Mercury retrograde on top of your sun in your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, your networks of who you align with. And then December, Mars is going to go retrograde on top of your sun. And so we know that whatever you are beginning right now, whatever you are starting, you are working on finding a balance between who am I and who am I in relationship to other people, and how do I find a balance between giving away my power, giving away my energy, giving away everything, and stepping into my divinity, going after what I want. And then this August, there's going to be some things that have to do with your goals that you are going to have to find a balance with. There will be options, and you will know which options that are going to have to be removed. And then I think it's December 4th until, no, it's not. Hold on. It will be December 6th until February 23rd. It's going to station retrograde in your 11th house of cutting away groups, networks, like removing some things from your life. All right, so let's talk about, you wanted to talk about money, I think. I'm going to go back and look at it. Your finances or anything else you think I should know. All right, so the reason I bring up the finances, let's talk about this. You have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer in your 10th house. And so abundance of things that feel like home, are home, creation of home, nurturing people, things that have to do with food, things like that. The full moon ruler is Sagittarius, is Jupiter in your 10th house. Now, this is a quincunx. So we have your sun in your 9th house. Foreign people, places, things, traveling, negotiating, like taking classes, taking workshops, paying attention and ending some things that have to do with neighbors, siblings, cousins, and taking classes and workshops and things that have to do with close to home. The sun is going to move into your 10th house. Well, it just got into Gemini, so in the next month. So if you were to like look forward, the difficult thing that the full moon is bringing is Jupiter and Venus are in this conjunction together. It has something to do with other people's money or your investments or resources that you have combined with other people. Jupiter and Venus, they're both in exaltation at the top of your chart, wanting to support you with whatever you do. but they're in your 8th house. So it has something to do with either where you're putting your money or how you receive money from your shared resources. That can be taxes, inheritances, wills. It's where you have your resources that are combined with other people, combined with your own. They're working together with this. And so Jupiter is going to go in your 9th house, which generally means I want to travel, I want to take a class, I want to take a workshop. And you are going to be having, like in 2 years, you're going to be having a Jupiter return. So whatever is going on with your career, you are leading up to it, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that that makes sense to you. Finances or anything else. Okay, so I'm going to look a little bit more. Oh, you're having a Uranus opposition. Okay, let me conjunct your moon. Okay. You had this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in your 8th house that happened last month. So it's been going on over the last year. It's about freedom and liberation. I need to be liberated from this contract. I need to be liberated from this person, business partner, family member, client. But it's about freedom, liberation, and thinking outside the box. Like, I can't do this anymore, and how can I do this differently? It's not saying it was a bad thing. It could be like I'm ready to be liberated, or I need to be liberated out of the way that we're doing things, and we need to do it differently. And so you're having a Uranus opposition, and like the last person, a Uranus opposition is kind of like where we look at it as like a midlife crisis. Where am I going? What am I doing? What's going on right now? How do I move forward from this point? And what supports me in my chart? So everything supports you in your chart because you are leading up to not only this Uranus opposition, these nodes, you're going to have an eclipse dip into your 12th house here soon. It'll be later this fall where the eclipses will combine, like they will overlap each other. And so the first eclipse will be in your 6th house, and then the second eclipse, okay, so the first one will happen September 18th, and the second one will happen October 2nd. So the first one, so leading up to that September 18th, you're coming up upon a nodal opposition. That means where the two nodes come together, but they oppose each other. It's where we look back at our past and we look to our future and we say, where do I go? Where do I move to? What do I bring from my past forward into my future of where I want to go? It's a transition in your life where you will be spending the next 18 months thinking about your past and saying, I now need to make a decision to move forward. I have enough life experience to be able to look back and say, this was good. This was not so much. This I'm definitely going to leave behind. And this is what I want to move forward with. It's an opportunity to readjust the wheel so you can move forward with ease and grace. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. Let me look around one more time. I'm loving all of this for you. Yeah, there will be some endings. You know, you're going to have some endings. The endings look like endings to something that has to do with classes, workshops, neighbors, siblings, some type of a communication. And it could be something that you were working on. Remember that the 3rd house has to do with types of transportation and types of communication. So it could mean like selling a car, or, you know, a lease could be up, or finishing a class or a workshop. But other things are moving forward to start something new. All right. Okay, great. It all makes sense. I always struggle because I'm looking at a camera and I really struggle staring at a little black dot. But I'm so glad that all of this makes sense to you, because I will keep rambling until I know for sure you have it. All right. So thank you for trusting me, and I greatly appreciate it. So let me see who is next in the queue. All right. And by the way, I appreciate all of you being here. I'm just happy to be spending this time with you. All right, so Patricia, You are in the queue. Let me pull you up.
It's Patty Graham.
Got it? Patty Graham. I'm sorry. I do everything really slow because I'm ruled by Virgo and I'm afraid of making mistakes. Perfectionist by default. Oh, wait. Okay, Greensburg. Hold on. No, just Greenberg. Okay, I need to double check.
Greens.
Okay.
With an S, sorry.
Mother. Sorry. Mr. Jake spelled it wrong. I got it. There we go. Hey, Patty Graham. Okay, I'm going to transition this over. First, I want to... Okay, so no questions, so it gives me free reign. Yay. Oh, you're having a nodal return. Okay, I absolutely love... I love your chart, but this is a lot. Like, this is a lot of Virgo energy. Like, you have Uranus and Pluto and Jupiter and Venus and Mercury in your 6th house of service to other people. Like, I'm going to talk frankly because I'm a Virgo rising, and so I always say it out of love. And I have my Pluto here and I have my Uranus there also. So it often means like obsessive thoughts, OCD tendencies, wanting to be perfect, wanting to get it right, organized, structured, detail, with health, with nutrition, with how can I be of service to other people. I absolutely, that is a lot of energy. Okay, so knowing this about yourself, the other earth signs, it trines, okay, it trines your 2nd house, but you don't have anything there. It trines your 10th house. The 6th house is what do I need to balance between my home and my work. Let me skim around. It's in square to your moon also. All right, I see it. Okay, let's talk. I'm going to pull up a bi-wheel and show you what's going on between... All right. So this is what is the most important thing that I look at. Here and here. So I don't know what you know about your nodes, but you're having a nodal return. Nodal return happens at around the age of, well, you and I are about the same age. I'm also having, I had a nodal return last year. Oh, you're younger than me. So your north node in Aries. I need to go after. I need to think about myself first. It's in a quincunx to all of this energy here. All of this energy in the sign of Virgo means all of those things that I said. I'll take care of you. I will help you. I'll be of service. I need to find a balance between home and work. I need routine. I need to take, like, it's self-care. It's caretaking. It's habits. This is a lot of Virgo energy that's organized, structured, detail. I can't do anything unless I have a plan, unless it's organized. So Aries energy, your north node in Aries is what you were born with. I need to make sure that I go after what I want. But for the first 29 years of our life, you were a south node in Libra. You put everybody else's needs above your own. Your partners, your friends, your significant others, clients, one-on-one relationships. Now you're at where the nodes are coming back to square one, back to where you were born, but this time with age and wisdom of experience. And so now you're looking at this and saying, and this started last fall, So September, October, we had these eclipses, and it was, I have to let go of some friends. I have to let go of clients. I have to let go of partners. I have to let go of some people in my life who take. They could have let you go because you had healthier boundaries. The North Node in Aries is initiating where I look at my life and I have to own, where did I give up my power? Where did I give up my energy? Where did I just give away everything? And now I have to own it, have healthy boundaries, and pull it back to me. I now have to be able to say the words that I need to worry about me first. I need to take into consideration everything that has to do with me. Now, Mars is here. You have Saturn in the sign of Aries. In your first house, structured, rigid detail, you know what you have to do. Once you are headed in the right direction, it's like somebody just gives you the mountain, somebody gives you the key, they give you the pass, and you just move forward. You can do this on your own. It's about you identifying the different areas of your life. Because the nodes take 18 months, there was something that happened last September, October, and then you had this March and April 8th eclipses that eclipsed people and places and things out of your life, and then they brought new in. A North Node eclipse in the first house is a change in personality, a change in your appearance, a change in your strength and your habits. And I always say that the first house is your business card or your website. This is you changing who you are. Now, you're halfway through it. We still have the eclipses that will go on this fall, and then into next spring where they will end. And so you're ending this cycle, and the goal is for them to activate this area of your life for such a long time that you will not slip into old habits. This is a time where we look at what is the next third of my life going to look like. All right, so let me look at a couple other things. You are coming up on your second Saturn return. You've got another year to go before this happens. So the nodes are kind of setting you up for success in that. When the Saturn moves into your first house of self, it will be solidifying this is me setting up my last third and making sure that I have these healthy boundaries and with where I'm going and what I'm doing. All right, so let's talk about this full moon. You have the sun, it's in your third house, and you have some endings of closures. It could have something to do with travel, cross-cultural experiences, like foreign people, places, things. The ninth house represents higher education, religion, philosophy. You could be ending something that has to do with that, and the opportunity of a new beginning that will come from this. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter and Venus are the great benefics, are in your second house of your money, your cash, your property, your resources. Uranus has been here like totally playing havoc with your money and your possessions and your skill set, your salary, your income, like kind of shaking your world up. And what's going to happen is Venus will be the first one to move into your third house of bringing together. Venus always wants to unite, and it brings beauty. And so this could be with neighbors, siblings, things that I do close to home, things that are in my home. And then Jupiter is going to go into your third house for the next year. When Jupiter goes into your third house, it's all about communication, writing letters, books, building relationships, conversations, different types of languages, formulating your thoughts. When Jupiter goes into your third house, it will expand places that you can now go to, people that you can now communicate with. There will be less barriers of things that you want to do and expand, whether it be through AI, science, technology, travel. But Jupiter will totally liberate and give you freedom. Jupiter also can give too much. It can be excess. Jupiter is trining all of this this stellium in your 6th house. So is Uranus, forcing you outside of your comfort zone, like literally for the last year of your life. You have had your whole life just kind of shake up. And say like where the dust settles, and every time you start to get comfortable, Uranus has been shaking you up again, and like it's been for your best and highest good as this happens. All right, good, 100%. Okay, I'm super excited about this because, okay, so where are we going with this? Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, they're all going to move into your 3rd house. It's about not getting too comfortable with where you're at, because you have all of this comfort stuff here of, I want stability. I don't want change. As a matter of fact, I hate change. I'm not going to change. Uranus, think of it as an earthquake. If you choose not to change and go with the flow, Uranus will disrupt your life in that you are forced to. And so I always say, I don't flow like water, but I flow like lava, because I will change. It just takes me a little bit longer to grow, change, and evolve, because when lava erupts and goes over, it totally changes the landscape of it. And so I'm encouraging you to know that it's like your ground or your home or your sense of stability has been shook up, and it will continue to be. Now, when Jupiter goes into your 3rd house, it'll be in a harmonious aspect. No, wait a minute. It will not. Sorry. It is in a harmonious aspect now. It will be in a square. It will say, I need you to integrate all of these changes and all of this energy. And so squares are meant, they're 90-degree angles. And so it's, I want this, I want this. We both cannot have our way. We have to hear each other out and come to a compromise and integrate it. And so I'm encouraging you to embrace all change as it comes, or else you'll be just a sad puppy. Yeah. And I totally understand. I get it, but I'm excited for you, because this is the freedom and liberation that you have been waiting for, and it only comes around so often. So this will like the chips will settle, like things will settle, but this stuff here, I love a nodal return. A nodal return, they are where you have come full circle, and you can now say, yeah, I'm ready to move forward. I got this. All right, so yeah, Mopsy, stay away from Pluto. Her Pluto is in her 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. And Pluto is currently going retrograde, meaning it's going to go back over this area of your life where you're going to have to reevaluate and say, do I really need that goal? Do I really need this hope, this wish, this dream? It is in trine to your nodes. But wherever we see Pluto, there has to be a death of something, because it's about transformation. And so you might sit back and look at it and say, you know what? I really didn't need to go there. I really didn't need to be part of this group. I really don't need this. What I really need is Pluto has you reevaluate. What do you really need in order for you to grow? Because Pluto is the seed that's planted and then comes from the mulch or comes from the decomposing like leaves above it. And so we know that you're going through a large transformation in your life, because Pluto is trining all of this. And Pluto's like, yeah, I'm an earth sign, because your Pluto's an earth, but it's, I have to force myself, because if I don't, you'll stay the same way you have always been. So Patricia, I'm super excited that you're here, and I greatly appreciate you being here. Hopefully all this makes sense. All right. Yes, the other side is beautiful, Mupsies. The other side is very beautiful. All right, let me see who is next in the queue. All right. Oh, Wendy. Wendy Knight. Oh my goodness. Wendy. Oh my gosh. Wendy, I don't even know what to say. Like, you have made my day, Wendy Knight. I heart you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me see who is next in the queue.
It's Ilke.
All right. So, is it Ikai? I think it's Ikai. I think. E-K-A-I. I got this. All right. Okay. Okay. When is the time? Oh, I don't have a time. I have your date of birth. I need your time while I pull the rest of this up.
11 a.m.
Thank you. Got it.
It's on the bottom of the chart.
Got it. I got this now. Alrighty.
I think Wendy sent you $49.99.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, so the first thing, let's take a look. And you said, should I invest in opening a studio, or is there anything else coming my way? All right. Oh, you're having a nodal return also. All right. Let's give this some serious. You have an air trine, which I absolutely love. Okay, so when Jupiter goes into,
See your comment.
okay,
Question.
yeah. Should I invest in opening a studio or anything else? All right. Let me pull up a buy wheel. All right. So the first thing that I see here, you are having a nodal return also. I want you to think back to fall. There was like that September, October. That was the first of the eclipses of you going after what you want. Your nodal return is in your 10th house of my career, my job, my legacy. What do I want to do? It is you going after with a vengeance. Like, you have Aries here. Aries is it's fierce, it's loyal, it is passionate. The 10th house is my career, my life path, my public reputation. I need to be able to do this. I know that you said, should I buy this studio? What I see happening is you've got this full moon. You're going to have this full moon in the sign of Sagittarius, and you've got your sun in your 12th house. All of these planets are all going to dip into the sign of Gemini. Gemini is, what do I do? Your Gemini, because it's the 12th house, is what can I do behind the scenes? The sun is in the 12th house. The sun traditionally in the 12th house is take care of all the paperwork. It's usually what I do when I withdraw. It's me pulling back and taking care of things in my life. You're going to have Venus there. How can I make money? How can I bring people together? Jupiter is going to go into Gemini for the next year. It's going to dip into it on the 25th. And so think AI, think technology, think email, phone, text, all of these options that are available. So you definitely have to be doing something. You have to be doing something publicly, whether it's a studio or it's the creation of something. It is you putting your heart and soul into something that you're willing to invest in for the next many years. Now, all of these planets they're going to then take turns going into the sign of Gemini of how can I do better with the information that I'm getting. I don't think it'll be just like, I don't know what kind of studio it is, but I don't think it's going to be like a regular studio. I don't think it's like going to be just a dance studio. If it's going to be a yoga studio, it will not be just yoga. There will be like sound bowls. There'll be meditation. There will be intuitive, like there will be learning. There will be, oh goodness. All of these planets going into your 12th house will give you connections to people behind the scenes. You have Uranus in your 11th house, shaking some things up, but helping you to make the right connections with people. I'm connecting with the right people who could help me along my career path. Teams, peers, social circles, people who share the same thoughts, ideas, and creativity as you. You had your Jupiter-Uranus conjunction here last month, and Venus is here bringing together like people, places, money, resources of this is how I can do this. Because these two are conjunct, it is pulling the resources together and activating your personal Jupiter. Your Jupiter is not in a close conjunction, but is in your 10th house of how can I expand what I'm doing? I have to go after it. Aries energy is the warrior, and it's single-minded, and you have Jupiter here. You single-mindedly can make these things happen, but I believe that there will be other people at play with you. All of this will go into your 12th house. As they all dip into your 12th house, I believe it'll be for healing because it's going to activate your Chiron. All of these things that will happen, like when Mercury goes in here and Jupiter goes in here, the 12th house is the personal unconscious. It's about doing the shadow work or shamanic work. Can I ask you, like, what kind of a studio you are thinking about opening? Because the type of studio, I don't believe it's going to be like a dance studio unless it's like healing dance. I believe that whatever you're going to be doing will have to do with something that dreams or retreats, spiritual retreats, rest, recovery, where people will go to tap into their inner child in order to leave rejuvenated. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. It's movement studio that combines healing in the mind. Okay. You cannot not do this. You cannot not. You will be called. You will be pushed. Your North Node conjunct this North Node is pushing you in the right direction, and these planets are helping you to make the right connections. Is it all going to be easy? No. Is there going to be some difficulty? Absolutely. Like, okay, let's talk about the difficulty, because you're going to have these great things like push you forth, and the eclipses are going to continue for the next, this fall and into the spring, pushing you to do this with 12th house themes. So I want you to think meditation, spiritual retreats, where people go to withdraw, like yoga, connection to the divine. So all of these things are healing mind, body, and soul. So I want you to also think anything that could be shamanic work or past life regressions, meditations, you being connected to other practitioners that can support your work through your space and have like one space to work under. Jupiter going into your 12th house it's you doing the behind the scenes work in order to make these things happen. Difficulties. May, June, and July are going to be easy. Mercury is going to station retrograde this August and really have you going back over your second house of your money, your resources, your movable property, a cash property. Like, if you're going to sign anything, I would encourage it to be before August. And then December, okay, one more date. December, Mercury is going to station retrograde in your 6th house of finding a balance between home and work and the service that I give to others. And Mars is going to be retrograde in your second house. Mars is the planet that comes in to cut and remove. So just a hot second to talk about business. And then like if you want to schedule later, we'll work out like a year's worth of a plan. But whatever you're doing now, you will come back this August, rethink, reevaluate, review your finances. And then in August, it will be what has to be cut, what has to be removed, where my spending goals, how do I sustain. I'm not saying it cannot happen because it's in trine. There's a trine to your career. You're meant to do this, but not. You will have this ease and flow where everything will go forward, and then you're going to have this. I have to stop, slow down, and integrate what I've done, and then it will move forward. And then I have to stop and slow and integrate and go within. You do have Pluto in your 8th house. This usually means a connection to somebody else that you have money invested in, or they have money invested in, or like these shared resources, obligations, debts, or combined resources. So there could be other things that have to do with you working with other people and contracts and negotiations. All right. I hope that all of this makes sense to you. And all right. Thank you.
Wendy's next. So pull her chart up.
Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, you are very, very welcome. And Wendy's in the house. Wendy, thank you so much for your generous tip and everything. I just absolutely, okay, let me find you. All right. There you go. All right, let me see. All right, Wendy, let me look at the chat. Say you're going to be rich and in love. Whatever you see in my chart, I'm just going to be open. I just wanted to say I am so excited that you are here. And that like you, I look at your chart, like I have your chart saved because we go way back, girlfriend. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so the first, I have not brought the chart over. And where is Shay to help me out with that? All right, so full moon. Wait, today is the 21st. Okay, so this is today's chart. Let's talk about this. The sun is going to be illuminating. It's going to be coming close to your north node. Everything about you. How do I communicate? Who do I communicate with? The first house is about your appearance, your power, your image, your identity, and the way that you communicate with others, and your resources, your strength, your habits. It's your gestures, it's your ego, it's self-interest, you being seen. The full moon that's going to be coming up is going to be in your 7th house of partnership. So it'll be an ending of some kind of contractual agreements. It'll be an ending of, now I like a full moon because they're not always like a difficult ending. This one, the ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter's conjunct Venus. By Thursday it will be. So we have the ruler in your 12th house. Things that are hidden, things, you being withdrawn, like you've had a year with all of this energy in your 12th house. And so all of it is going to be merging into your first house of self. So think of it as a coming out party. And so all of this energy, the first thing that's going to happen is there's going to be some kind of a release of a contract, a release of negotiations. This could be a friend that's moving away, or it will be a revealing of, or I have met somebody through somebody, because it's a full moon and it illuminates, and it's bigger than. Now, Jupiter conjunct Venus is money, beauty, and making things bigger. Jupiter's going to be the first one to go into your first house of self. So this is doing something to yourself or for yourself to make yourself feel prettier, or it could be okay, how can I put it nicely? Venus going into the first house is, I want to do something for myself so that I feel better about how I am seen. And it could be with the way that I look, changing my hair, changing clothes. Usually when Venus goes into the first house, it is how I am seen, and it's changing my looks, my appearance, or doing something. And then Jupiter is going to be following straight behind. Whatever you're doing now, know that Uranus is going to be here in a year. Uranus is going to be here July of 2025, opposing something that has to do with that partner or that partnership or that friendship or something that's going on. I like that Venus is going into, I like all of this going into your first house of self, because it's going to activate your North Node. And you're going to be having a Jupiter return. Oh my goodness. Okay. Jupiter comes around once every 12 years. And so this is going to be your lucky year of abundance. What comes with it can be a little too much. So just use caution for when Jupiter stations retrograde. Know that Jupiter later on this week is going to be saying, here I am, the way that you talk, the way that you communicate. Jupiter is all different types of communication, and the technology and the AI, and how do you connect with other people. Gemini is usually like it could be with classes or workshops or writing or texting, gossiping, email, all types of conversation. It's all types of language and thoughts. Like Gemini is like two different people. And so you are like two different people, and I can be this and I can be this. Like I can work and I can play. And a Jupiter return here is going to magnify all the things that you can do. It will also scatter you. So I want you to use caution that it will sextile your third house of communication. Not that you couldn't do it. It will it could leave you with having so many obligations or so many social things that you want to do that you can't keep track of or cannot keep on top of. And so I would encourage you to keep notes of everything that you're doing, the people, the places, the things. It's kind of like your social calendar, and you can be as busy as you want, and you have been doing a lot of things behind the scenes. And so this will be a really, it's going to be a busy year for you. Hold on, let me take a look here. The next Mercury retrograde, I'm like giving everybody the heads up. I'm telling you, all the planets are moving direct. So this is a positive time that I need to go after what I want. I need to, this is you doing this. Now, Jupiter going into your first house, yay. And free flowing, starting all these great things. But Mercury's going to station retrograde this August in your third house. Classes, workshops, communication, building relationships. It could bring in a past relationship. And then December, January, Mars will station retrograde here. The third house is just going to get this double whammy this year. And so first Mercury, and then Mars. And oh, hold on. You are also having a Mars opposition. I think we've talked about this before. So something that you started a year ago, and you're at the halfway point. So if you want to go back and think about that. Wendy, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. I'm excited about this. Look, anybody that has Jupiter going into their first house, both of my son's wife, my daughter-in-law, and then my soon-to-be son-in-law are both Gemini rising. And having Jupiter go into their first house is like finding their voice. And it's liberation of the way that you communicate and how people see you. And it's communication on many different levels: writing, journaling, typing, email, the way you gather information and the way you disseminate it. You have been connecting with important people, right? Oh my gosh. You're also being sought after by other companies, but at the same time, look, I don't like haters. I could say a lot of bad things, but I'm going to keep this like PG. I don't know if you ever go through the comments, but I get some stupid comments, some mean comments, and I decide not to give them my energy. I really focus hard on moving forward with anybody that is really here to hear the information. And if we're not on the same wavelength, I'm just not going to give you my energy. I do put in place people that surround me that are honest with me, that make sure that because there's haters out there, and mean people just suck, and I don't always see it coming. And you as a Gemini rising with your North Node, you are supposed to be doing this. Geminis are the social butterflies of the zodiac. They're like, like they're flirts. They flirt with words because they remember things. They remember, oh, this is your favorite drink. Oh, this is your favorite color. I wish I had that. I don't. I don't. So, yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you. Yeah, Mopsies, it is not nice. Mean people are not nice. And so just don't give them your energy, or, shield. Cut cords and shield. I don't know if anybody out here does that, but like literally, I will try to shield myself from any of the negative that's out there. Yeah, all right. Hey, Crystal, so glad to see you out there also. All right, so Wendy, thank you. Thank you for being here. Like, you know that things are going to be going really well for you. You're definitely going to be coming into your own because the eclipses are going to be shifting into your career and your home sector in the next 6 months, and it'll be an overlapping theme for the next year and a half. So yeah, big people, important people, they should be nice to you. They should be nice to you. All right, see you. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. All right. Oh, mother of... Okay. So, Loretta, thank you for being in the chat. And being patient. And while I am pulling up these numbers, if you are interested in learning more about things that are in your natal chart, I would love to see you. I am offering a once a month webinar, learning webinar. And this next month is understanding your past life and looking at our South Node. Oh, good. Loretta, you pulled right on up. I absolutely love it. Let me pull this on over. All right, Loretta. Saggy rising. Okay. So there were no questions, so it like gives me free roam to go around. All right. I absolutely I like this. I like it a lot. Okay. I do want to talk about your Sun conjunct your Neptune at 28 and 29 in the sign of Scorpio in your 12th house. Not an easy placement. I also have my Sun in the 12th house with other planets. So talking from a little bit of experience here, I also have Neptune in Scorpio. Neptune dissolves, and so the 12th house is the house of fear. It's the house of karma. It's the house of hidden. It is affliction or hospitalizations or institutions. And so the Sun and Neptune and Venus all here, but the Sun conjunct Neptune is at 29 degrees. 29 is referred to as an anaretic degree, meaning think of it as your final exam lifetime, that you've done this before, and that a lot of the things that you're doing, they're not new. It's recalling or remembering. And so I need to make this lifetime count. I need to do it right. Sun, who you are, Scorpio. I need to be a detective. I need to be able to feel secure and work from a space of, look, a sun in Scorpio, people will either love you or hate you, love you or fear you, because you require honesty. You require transparency in all of your relationships. And when people don't look you in the eye, they wear sunglasses, they evade the truth. Those are not your people. And with Neptune here, Neptune sometimes blurs the lines of what you're meant to do and who you're meant to be. And it's in a harmonious aspect to your North Node, the direction in which you're supposed to be going, knowing that you are supposed to be paying attention to your gut instinct, your intuition, your dreams, your ancestors, your like going within and doing the inner healing, because the 12th house is the house of karma. I've come here to clear some karma. I need to like get rid of this stuff. So hopefully that makes sense for where you are coming from. All right, so let's take a look at hold on, move this over so I can do it by wheel. All right, there we go. All right, so knowing all of this about you, you are having the sun. The sun is currently moving into your 7th house. Your 7th house is the sign of Gemini. Two people, this could be two best friends, two significant others, two clients, two relationships are always going to be bi for you, like in twos or in pairs, or thoughts, ideas, communication, chatter. The way that you communicate with people, like you need to have information about people before there is any type of a relationship or a negotiation. You've had a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in your 6th house of your daily habits, totally shaking up your daily habits, like things that revolved around health issues, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, psychological, emotional. All of that has been on the front burner for the last year, and you searching for unique, think outside the box strategies in order to solve these things, in order to move forward, to find a mentor, to find a guide, to find this balance in your life between what's been going on, your career, and your home, because this is in a harmonious trine, and this is in a sextile. Both are harmonious, working together of, I'm going to shake up this area of your life where you are very comfortable. And in the 6th house is my self-care. It's getting rid of old health habits. It's ending and like getting on the right track of, I have to make time for me. I have to make time to go for my bike ride. I have to make time to go on a vacation. I have to make time to take my dog for a walk. I don't know what you're make time for, but I know that the moon in Taurus needs to take care of, like needs a home, needs nurturing and caring and downtime, if that makes sense to you, I'm hoping. All right, so knowing that, we're going to have all of these planets slowly shift into the 7th house. Now, the 7th house being Gemini, it's going to be, it's going to, like this is in a quincunx to your 12th house of your sun, and that it will oppose your 1st house. You are a Sagittarius rising. Sagittarius rising are the more the merrier, the life of the party, the let's go out, let's go do this. But your sun is in Scorpio. Sun in Scorpio, they like to show up just a smidgen on the back end of things and wait until everybody's there and look and survey the room. It's about, I want to know where everybody's at. I want to know where the door is at. I want to be able to connect with these people on a one-on-one. I don't want to have to be the center of the attention for everybody. You have a Sagittarius rising. You are learning to be more comfortable in larger groups of people. So this full moon, because this moon is going to come down and be full in your first house, there will be something that ends with that has to do with your appearance, your power, it will have an ending with, it could be a project, an activity, something that has to do with you, an ending or a transition of you shifting. Then along with that, Jupiter, well, Venus is going to be first. Venus is going to go into your 7th house, and it will be all about connecting people, either for love, relationships, or business partners or best friends. Jupiter is going to go into your 7th house. Jupiter is totally going to expand this area of your life. Contracts, negotiation, cooperation, clients, best friends, significant others. Like, you will have these options and abundance. There will be an abundance. And so you will have to keep track of things because it can be overwhelming and too much. Let's see. Let me get rid of this. Saturn is sitting on top of your north node, opposing your south node. Loretta, I need to be focused on creating healthy boundaries for a stable home, a foundation. The 4th house has to do with real estate, property, traditions, family relationships, your living situation. It's sitting on top of your north node in Pisces. I have faith and I have belief that I can, like mystical, magical, spiritual, and moving towards this and creating healthy boundaries around this, because Saturn is earth and it's a mountain, and Pisces is water. And so it's how can I have boundaries around what I believe in? What do I want for a home? What do I need to be focused on? Where is my home? Do I take my home with me? Like, do I live in an RV? Do I travel? What does that look like? And Saturn is going to be here for, I think, another year. And I like this. You're coming upon a nodal return. So all of this is happening because this fall you are going to be dipping into a nodal return. And with that means, if you're not happy with where you're at during that next year and a half of your life, it usually means a move. It means a move and something that has to do with your career. So I'm hoping that all of this makes sense. Yes, it has. Vacation, it's been work. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, thank you. This time it'll be my husband, actually. Oh, that makes sense. And Loretta. Okay. This makes sense for you, Loretta, and I'm super excited for you. So hopefully you stay in touch with me. And all right. Is there anything else I want to chat about here? Yeah. South node on Uranus. South node on your Uranus is letting go of some of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals that you attached to other people and followed them on their path instead of following your own path, and making sure that who you are aligned with is aligned with your goals. So know that that's a personal thing in your chart. All right, so Loretta, thank you. All right, glad. Okay, I'm so glad I nailed it. Okay, thank you for trusting me. I greatly appreciate you being here. All right, let me see who is next in the queue. All right.
This is the husband of the gal you did earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Bayate.
All right. Yeah. All right, so this is Dennis.
Shiny gems just showed up.
Okay, okay, I got this. Hold on. Shiny gems, I heard you are in the house tonight. Yay, I'm super excited. I'm excited to see you and Mopsy, and it's like, greatly appreciate you guys supporting me. All right. Hold on here. All right, I think I got it. All right. All right. I think it's pronounced Dennis. Dennis, or I'm hoping that I'm saying that correct, because good Lord knows I do not want to slaughter the name. Yeah. Okay. No, I did not. Let me look in the chat. Okay. Okay. Are we going to stay where we are, or is there a move on the horizon this year, or maybe? Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. All right, I got you. And Shiny Gems, it is today. Nope, I'm so glad you're here. All right, Dennis, I think it's Dennis. I'm going with that. All right, so let's talk about you. This is a lot of Aquarius energy. Look, you have a Sun, Venus, Jupiter. Aquarius energy is let your freak flag fly. Okay, I want to show you that you have a grand cross. I'm going to try to explain in a nutshell what a grand cross means. So basically, I don't know if you can see these 4 areas of your life. The first house, this is your first house. That's you. 7th house is partnership. 4th house is home. The 10th house is career and job. Every time something happens to your career, it affects you and your partner and your home. Every time something happens with partnership, home, you, career. Every time something happens with the North Node, home, it affects you. So there's this opposition to all of these, and we call it a grand cross, where it's solid, stable energy because yours is in fixed signs. Leo doesn't want to move. It's the middle of summer. Scorpio doesn't want to move. It's like the middle of fall. Aquarius is the middle of winter. And Taurus is the middle of spring. They don't like transition. And they don't want to have to change. And so when something happens, your entire world is rocked. All in one fell swoop. All in one fell swoop. So know that about yourself before you... know it about yourself. So then as I talk about this, you can say, okay, I think I understand what you mean by that's activating this. All right, so let me do bi-wheel here. All right. So you just had a nodal return last year. If there was going to be a move, it would have been last year. Over the last year and a half, there would have been this move. What's going on in your life right now is, okay, where do I even start? We got a lot going on. Okay. I'm going to start with Pluto. I'm going to start with your first house of self. Pluto in your first house, it's going to be here for the next 20 years. It's currently stationed retrograde. Currently, Pluto is saying you have to shed some things about yourself. You have to transform. You have to do something. It is literally on top of your Sun and Venus, who you are, your identity. It's evolving, changing, growing. As a Sun in Aquarius, you can talk to a homeless person and a transient all in the same breath. You don't judge on those types. It's about the way you communicate. It's who you are. You could be dressed in a suit and be at the beach. You could be, Aquarius is unique and doesn't want to have one type of how you think about me. You know, like some people you can say, oh, that fits their type. You don't have a type. A Sun Aquarius is, I want to work with the masses, help the masses, but I also want to be independent. And Venus is the way that you look. So this is changing your outlooks, changing your clothes, changing everything, your self-expression, your changing everything about you. Your first house is your business card. It's your website. It's who you are, always changing, evolving, and growing. Pluto currently stationing retrograde, having you go back over and look at some things about yourself and saying, Where do I need to change? Where do I need to grow? Where do I need to evolve? It is in a square with your south node, something that has to do with your career, your job, your legacy, and it's a Pluto square. A Pluto square is something has to give, something has to change. You have Pluto. Okay, it's a trauma signature, so I'm gonna go there now. In a past life, if you believe in past lives, your south node, being in the sign of Scorpio, it was bad. It was terrible. The way that you died. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation, but you've been moving every 2 years since you've been married, either because of me or him. Okay, so this totally explains it. But like his past is, he has Pluto conjunct his south node. He is working on correcting trauma, and he is connecting with people. That is like a reconnection. Like he lost everything. He lost, and it was a deep violation of. And so when he works from a space of fear, not from a space of security, he can make mistakes, or you can make mistakes. And so the goal is to work towards your north node. Pluto is also going to be squaring your north node. Your sun squares your north node. Squares are so how do I move towards security? You are supposed to be moving towards a solid, stable, reliable home, something that you can build your foundation upon. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to move again, but wherever you moved when you were having a nodal return, when the nodes were in Taurus about 1.5 years ago, that should have been a good resting place. It should have been like this aha moment of I'm comfortable. Knowing that Pluto is opposing is on top of your sun, know that it squares this, opposes this, squares this. So know that it's forcing you to say, I need to think about my job. I need to think about my career. I need to think about what does home look like. You've had Jupiter, Uranus conjunction on top of your north node. A shock and surprise of I have to get up and I have to move. I have to leave this. This is not where I'm supposed to be. The sun is in your 5th house. The 5th house is where we take a risk. It's children, it's love affairs, it's beauty and art and creativity. It's where you go after things that you want to do. And so the first thing that's going to happen is the sun is here, and there will be some type of an ending that has to do with your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. It's like ending a goal. Like, yes, I finished it. Yes, I finished that project. Yes, I can finally move on from this. Then what's going to happen is Venus, the same day, is going to be moving into your 5th house. I need to be able to take this risk for this side gig or this project or whatever I'm working on. And it can be something that has to do with money or beauty or love or music. It can be creative. It trines your 1st house of self. Okay, my charts are all color coded to make it easier for me to be able to visually see right away. So anything that's in light blue. So do you see all this in light blue? Light blue is air, air, air. All of these are working together. This may be squaring this, but this is the benefit that comes from it. Your chart always gives you difficult things, and then it gives you a way out of, a reason to transform, a reason to move forward. As all of these planets move into your 5th house, it will slowly say, I'm ready to take a risk. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to do this. Let's invest in this. Let's creative self-expression. Venus will be here, then Jupiter will be here. Jupiter is going to be there for a year and saying that, like, this is really what I want to do and offering you abundance. I would use caution with gambling, just giving you the heads up, because Jupiter can be too much, and 5th house is the house of gambling. And so when Jupiter stations retrograde, it can be like getting into debt, if you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, let me look, see what else I got here. I do like you are going to be having a Mars opposition. Okay, hold on, let me back it up. I don't know what your job or your career is, but May, June, and July are the months to like get it. Whatever you want to do, put it out there, manifest it. Jupiter in Gemini in your 5th house is all types of science, technology, AI, creativity, art, music, taking risks, investments, making it happen. August, Mercury's going to station retrograde in your 7th house. And then, and the 7th house is contracts, negotiations. So if you do sign a contract or a negotiation, or something that has to do with a new house or new something, new business, clients, think twice, rethink, look at it before you sign the dotted line. And there could still be something wrong with it where you have to go back. And then in December, it'll be cutting and removing from this area of your life. So I'm hoping all of this makes sense. Because remember, when Mercury stations retrograde in your 7th house, it will affect your North Node, your South Node, and your 1st house of self. Remember, your 1st, 7th, 4th, and 10th are going to be these pivotal houses in your life that anytime anything happens in any of those 4 areas of your life, it literally shakes up all 4 areas. It like activates all at one time. So Dennis, I think I'm pronouncing it right. I hope all of this makes sense, and I greatly appreciate you being here. Thank you for trusting me with your consultation. All right, let me see who is next in the queue, and hoping all of this makes sense. Let me see who is, let me look. All right. Okay. It is so true. Okay. I'm happy. Crystal, this Taurus is ready for transitions. I'm telling you, I love this energy because it's all going into your Taurus house, and you are very welcome. You are both very welcome. All right. Let me see. My next person who is in the queue. I think it's pronounced Sherry. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. Alrighty. Okay, hold on. All right. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. Sherry. All right. So health, healing, and soulful work. I totally understand that health, healing, and soulful work. Oh, okay. I like this. So as I skim around your chart, I love the idea of Sun, Mars, and Uranus all in the sign of Cancer, all the top of your chart. No, okay, Cancer is the sign. It's watery, it's intuitive, it's mothering, and it is needing that in your life. Mars doesn't do really well in the sign of Cancer because it's hard to cut through water. I also have my Mars in Cancer. So whenever I say anything negative, I want you to know it comes from a space of like, I love you, and I'm seeing it myself. So Mars has a hard time cutting through water. So Mars is kind of like this jellyfish, and it has to wait for the water to move it to wherever it goes in order to say this is what needs to be cut away or this is what needs to be removed. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm pronouncing it. Yes, Shiny Gems. Isn't that a beautiful name? All right, so, okay, let me take a look. So needing these things in your life, and you have your South Node in Gemini. Okay, so this is kind of important. Let's pull in a biwheel, and there we go. All right. So I want you to look at your south node and your north node. The south node is where you have come from, like either in a past life or generational, whatever you want to. I believe in past lives, so it's like where you've come from, and the north node is the direction in which you're supposed to be moving towards. So the sun is moving into the sign of Gemini later this week on Thursday. On Thursday, you're going to have a full moon. So this moon here, oh, you're having a lunar return later on tonight. So a lunar return is when the moon lines up with itself at the same degrees. So a lunar return is starting something new for the next month of your life. So we know that you are starting something new that is moon, feelings, intuition, going within in the sign of Scorpio. Psychic, intuitive, watery feelings, knowing, and the direction in which you're supposed to be going. So you're having a lunar return. It'll be tonight. Now this moon is going to be shifting into the sign of Sagittarius. So as it moves into Sagittarius, there's going to be some kind of an ending, closure, culmination of something that has to do with neighbors, siblings, cousins, the way that you communicate. It could be a class, it could be a workshop, it could be something that has to do with a car or a vehicle or technology. So there will be some type of an ending, but also coming from it is a new beginning. So it could be ending the way that you've been doing something and then saying, I need to embrace technology more. I need to like dive into what is Chat GPT, or I need to look into how science and technology can make my life easier by automating some things in your life. Like you know how we have okay, I'm going to use my parents as an example. They will say, Google, lights on. So the lights will come on. Google, turn the coffee pot on. And it's because they're seniors. How can I make my life easier? I'm not saying that that's for you. I'm just saying that a full moon says, I need to end the way that I'm gathering information and sharing information and science and technology, and I need things to be easier for me. I need you to reveal for me how I can use these new things to make my life easier. And so it's just like I think about my parents, and like they have a Roomba. They don't sweep anymore. So, or they don't even call it a Roomba. It's whatever it's called, the vacuum cleaner that does its own thing. It's ending of an old way and the beginning of a new. Now, the first thing that's going to happen, we talked about the sun moving into sign of Gemini. I need to take a class, a workshop. I want to dive into religion, or I want to take something that has to do with spirituality. I want to travel there. The ninth house is it's foreign people, places, and things, and it's higher education, but it's also spirituality and religion. It's I want to connect. It's also with prophetic dreams and visions and belief systems. And so the sun coming into this could have you saying, I want to study a little bit more. I want to understand this. I'm going to take a class on this. Now, Venus will move into the ninth house immediately on the same day, bringing love and beauty and finding a connection. Like, I really need to go travel there. I want to go on that retreat. I want to experience this. I need to go do this. Venus is love and beauty, but she brings people and places together. And in the sign of Gemini, how can I do this? Do I have to do it from home? Do I do it through Zoom? How can I make this happen? Then you're going to have Jupiter. Jupiter at the end of the month is going to be moving into your ninth house. I would say that means a lot of travel. This could mean publishing work. So I don't know if you have been wanting to put your thoughts and your ideas to writing or to like get it on a computer. It's not the way it used to be with like typing things out. Like you can do a voice recorder into it. And so Jupiter going into your ninth house is expanding all types of technology that's out there in a way that can be overwhelming. And so you saying, I might need to take a class on this. I might need someone to show me how to do this, or I need to explore this, or how can this help me? And then whatever is going on now 1 year from now in July of 2025, you will come back and there will be a revisiting of sorts. And so if you are putting your thoughts and your ideas, like maybe you're creating a journal, maybe you are, the ninth house is teaching, and it's also taking a class or a workshop. And so knowing that all of this is connecting you to other people of different thoughts and ideas and beliefs. And I absolutely love this for you. I do want to talk about the nodes transiting. You have the south node in your first house of self and the north node in partnership, but in the sign of Aries. I want to go after this. The seventh house is the house of contractual agreements, partners, best friends, significant others, a marriage partner. It's I want to initiate this in my life, like reaching out to a friend and saying, hey, let's go on this retreat together. Hey, let's go explore this together. Hey, or meeting somebody and building this relationship with them. All of this is in a sextile to your south node and in a trine to your north node of broadening your horizons through your connections with other people. I'm hoping all of that makes sense. Let me look around here. I love the fact that you're having a nodal return. So whatever new moon intention that you put out there, then this is an opportunity for you to say, I need to solidify this. New moon in Scorpio is based on feelings, intuition, dreams, huge with dreams, like astral travel, astral projection, reaching the Akashic records. Yeah. Let me look. Okay. One more thing. You do have Pluto going over your Chiron, something that happened at or around the age of 4 years old, and it's like readdressing some type of a wound, and it's in the fifth house of children or childlike activities or creativity or where we take risks. And so Pluto in the fifth house means life is short. Make sure you schedule in fun and joy and play and tap into your inner child. And it's exotic and unique and transformative because Aquarius is of like minds. It's getting together with people who you never would have thought to do things. All right. So thank you. Thank you very much, Sherry. I greatly appreciate you being here. And thank you for trusting me with your consultation. All right. Let me see who is in the queue. Okay, let's see. Sherry. All right. All right, 1994. I got this. So I greatly appreciate everybody being here. Hopefully you will join me at my next webinar to learn more about your chart. It's an hour and a half. It's meant to be like an intro to a new topic. And the first 45 minutes is teaching. And then the second 45 minutes is going over each other's charts in order to share, learn, and grow from that. All right, Sherry, let's see. Thoughts about potential for success, creativity, and financial freedom. I got this. All right. Girlfriend, you got a lot of Scorpio energy in your second house. Yep, I did. Let's see. Okay, so you have a sun in Sagittarius. Sun in Sagittarius is shoot for the stars. It's like fame and like other people, and it's being out there. It's in your third house of communication and travel, neighbors, so things that are closer to home. All of this Scorpio energy, Pluto and Jupiter are conjunct each other. This makes it a little bit tough because Jupiter is known as the Great Benefic. It wants to expand everything that it touches. This is your second house of your self-worth, your cash, your property, your resources. And Pluto says, you want that? You have to transform, break it down to the raw, bare bones. Pluto requires a death of something in order for something to grow. Meaning, like, think about fall. Scorpio season is in fall when leaves and plants decompose and then they make the ground fertile, and then in the spring the plants come up. So that's what it means, that in order to grow your personal finances, transformation has to occur. Your North Node means you should definitely be focused on your money, your resources, your cash, your property, your self-worth. All right, let's do a bi-wheel and check this out. Okay, so I probably should have explained that to everybody else, but I think that they knew. But I'm going to explain it with yours. You will be the inside wheel, and the outside wheel are the transits of what's occurring in your life. So you are the inside, and then, oh, you cannot even see it. Yep, there we go. You are the inside, and then the outside are where all the planets are occurring in your life at the moment. So you have all of this liberation, freedom, releasing, letting go. Venus and Jupiter are okay. I need to even go back further. Last spring, you had the beginning of a new chapter. Last fall, September, October, you started something that had to do with partnership and you, where you were identifying you with clients, you with relationships, you with love, you with releasing, giving away your power to everybody. Hold on. Yeah, because you're a Libra rising and naturally beautiful, like a people pleaser. And so how do I work with this energy? Now, Jupiter and Uranus in the month of April had a conjunction, liberating and freeing you from some type of a contract, a negotiation that had to do with other people's money. It could have been paying off money, taxes, inheritances, wills. Venus is here. Like, Venus is like making money from your investments. Jupiter and Venus being conjunct here at this full moon. And you're having, oh, this adds even more to it. Okay. The sun on Thursday. Remember, this is going to be May 23rd's chart. So this is going to be happening on Thursday. So we're leading up to it. The sun is going to move into your 9th house. It's there saying, let's pay attention to cross-cultural experiences, traveling, taking a class, taking a workshop, AI, science, technology. How can I make my life easier with all of these things? I also have to have an ending. And this ending is on top of your own personal sun. It is a releasing of something, of the way that you are communicating, the way that you're sharing information, the way that you are, it's your relationships. It's the way you talk, connect, exchange ideas with people on a daily basis. Your 3rd house is your neighbors, your cousins, your siblings. It's you at the park. It's you connecting with others. There will be some type of an ending. Whatever the ending is, know that it will circle back around with Uranus, because Uranus is going to be in the same spot in July of 2025. So we have the ruler of Jupiter. I'm sorry, the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and it's conjunct Venus. I want to make money by my investments with other people, by my contracts that I have with other people. I want my resources to do well. It's going to slowly move into your 9th house of who am I connected with? Do I have to travel there? The 9th house is foreign travel. It's my dreams, it's where I want to go and what I want to do. As Jupiter moves through, you know how you talked about like the fame and the fortune? You are building your resume. And when Jupiter goes into your ninth house, it's how can I use my connections? How can I use all forms? I want you to think air. What travels through the air? Email, phone, text, Reddit, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, anything that's connected to science or technology that's in airwaves. And then I want you to think AI. And when Jupiter goes into your ninth house, it's how do you connect with others? How do they see you? How do you share this information? When Jupiter goes into the ninth house, it brings an abundance of connections, an abundance of opportunities to travel, to not have a language barrier, to take classes, to publish things, to do all of these things. It's the house of legal matters. When all of this happens, I would definitely keep notes or keep information on the people that you meet, because they're going to swing back around. Jupiter's going to be here for a year, and then Jupiter's going to go into your 10th house of career in 2025. So this is you building up to what you want to do. I'm hoping that this makes sense. Let's see. Let me back this up so I can see. All of these planets, when they move into the air sign of Jupiter, this will trine your first house of self, and it will trine Pluto in your 5th house. Pluto in the 5th house is the house of what do I want to give birth to? It's either like children, or it's creativity, or it's art, or it's music, or it's poetry. It's Aquarius. Think outside the box, something unique. Remember, I color code everything. So all of these 3 light blues are air. They're all trining each other and supporting each other. The sun is currently at 2 degrees. Pluto is at 2 degrees. The sun is you saying, I have to, these connections that I'm making with people, either by publishing or going places, and we're talking about all different connections, because it won't be one person. It'll be this person knows this person knows this person. It's like a lot of, it's like mixing and mingling. It's going to trine with your Pluto. And so Pluto is the planet of transformation. I have to transform the way that I'm doing things, the way that I'm bringing some things out in order to get to where I want to be, because it'll also trine your first house of self. So Sherry, I'm hoping all of this makes sense to you. Right, it makes complete sense. Hey Deb Soul Tribe, I'm so glad you'd stop by to say hi. Oh, it's 1 a.m. there, so sorry about that. All right, so Sherry, let's take a look again. All right. But I'm appreciating everybody being in the chat here, and Sherry, I'm excited for everybody. I'm like, I love this. Okay, one more thing that I see. Sorry, I know that you talked about like fame, money, that kind of thing. The North Node with Aries, you have 9 more months of this, of it being in your 7th house of contractual relationships, contracts, promises, negotiations, and cooperation. I do want to give you a heads up about May, June, and July are going to be these free open months to like start some things. August, Mercury is going to station retrograde in your 11th house. The 11th house is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals, your networks. Who do you network with? In August, there will be this pivotal moment. There's going to be this square. I think it's on like the 14th. And it will be this is not working. I now have to shift over to this. It's taking your goals and now saying, this is where I'm going to shift it over. It's not like scratching everything. It's having all these options and now getting rid of. And this could be getting rid of either a specific goal or a person that you've aligned with in order to help you get to that goal. Or Mercury retrograde could bring back in somebody that will help you. The 11th house is teams or peers or communities or people who share beliefs or group networks. It's like where you volunteer time or where you want to. And so And then one more thing, because I'm still on the same house. You're going to have a Mars return. This guy right here in December is going to be right here in your 11th house. And it's going to go retrograde. I want you to think of Mars as a 2-year-old with a sharp knife. And then Mars retrograde, think about it as an angry person on steroids with a sharp knife. You want to give them a direction in which to cut. You say, this is where I'm going to cut. You just don't let them willy-nilly go cutting through everything in your life. So that December to, hold on, the dates are December 6th to February 23rd, but you're going to feel it a couple weeks before. You're literally going to be cutting away people, places, and things from your life, narrowing some things down, and starting a new 2-year journey. When you have this Mars return, it starts a new 2-year journey because it goes around your chart, takes 2 years. So it will be a realignment. After February 23rd, it will be okay, I got this. I now need to move forward with what I want to do in my career and who I want to connect up with. So I'm really hoping all of this totally makes sense to you. And I greatly appreciate you trusting me. You have a lot of great things coming up. I tell everybody good, bad, and ugly because I want you to be aware of the difficulty, but I also want to leave you the option of this is where you can explore some things to the transformation that can come from. I don't believe in just like, okay, woe is me. I believe in like, okay, I created this. I chose this birth chart. I now need to like work through this. And so I greatly appreciate all of you being here. I hope that you sign up for my nodal transit class. I have 2 more people in the queue, so I'm hoping that you stay here with me. So I'm hoping that you sign up for my nodal transit class that will be next month. I believe it will be in 2.5, 3 weeks. Not quite sure. I'll have to check that date. All right, so let me see who is next in the queue. Oh, Shiny Gems. Let me find you. So glad you are here. Yay. Okay. Open it up. All right. Shay, I need to know what's going on with you. Okay. All right, Shay. Sorry. Okay, Shiny Gems. Jay keeps correcting me, and I'm very sorry. I don't mean to call people by their name. Shiny Gems. All right, let's take a look. Okay, absolutely loving this for you because welcome to Gemini season for you. Gemini is now on top of your Chiron. Gemini, thoughts, ideas, communication, science, technology. I appreciate you not minding which name. She doesn't mind which name I call her. This is sitting on top of your natal Chiron. So we know that this has to do with you talking, working through, transforming your personal wound. Now it's going to be this huge opportunity. So you're going to have this full moon. The sun is going to be here. The moon is going to come into your 3rd house. We know that this has to do with siblings, neighbors, cousins, and writing, journaling, like transportation. So there's going to be some kind of an ending. I think that the siblings could like come back up into topic, and it will be again putting it to rest and an ending of sorts again. Like, and you can end it a million times. It's just sometimes they keep coming back up. What's going to happen because of this, Jupiter and Venus are conjunct together. They will both be at 29 degrees on Thursday. They are combining their energy, sitting on top of your north node of this is the shared resources that I have from my investments because I invested wisely. I've made good decisions. I'm working through eighth house taboo topics. I'm working through, I'm hoping, okay, I'm just going to put some things out there. Counseling, mentoring, people that support you behind the scenes, mentally, physically, emotionally. And what's going to come from this is like some kind of a breakthrough. Whatever this full moon is that's happening here, because Jupiter is its ruler and Jupiter and Venus are conjunct, Jupiter or Venus the very next day is literally going to go into your ninth house. So it's saying, I want to expand this area of your life and I want to take it into your ninth house of you should travel. You should take that class. You should explore. You should expand your mind. What do you want to do? It has to do with your resources. I don't know about your personal finances, but this could mean like money coming into you, more money, like money coming into you, either from investments or from other things. Like eighth house topics are death, dying, transformation, or an ending of a contract or ending of a negotiation or a release of something. And then Venus moving into your ninth house is love, beauty, connecting people. I need to go visit that person. I need to travel there. I want to connect with that person. So it's going to be at the top of your mind. And you need to do it. They either need to come to you, you need to go to them. Now, not sure what you're going to be doing with the puppy. And then Jupiter's going to be going into your ninth house. This will be, remember, activating your Chiron moon. I need to heal me. It is time. It is time for me to say, I need to move forward with my best and highest good of transformation. Gemini is different thoughts, understanding, connection, and Jupiter is having faith, hope, and belief. And in the ninth house is you could probably write a book. You could probably publish things. You could probably teach a class. You could probably, and take a workshop. When Jupiter goes into your ninth house, it will be there for an entire year of opportunities of foreign travel, opportunities of classes and workshops and studying and publishing and legal matters. When Jupiter is in this house, any legal matters will be in your favor. That always makes me feel good. It will be opposite of your Uranus. That's okay. It just means that some things may be shocking and surprising that have to do with siblings or cousins or people that are like family members. But I'm truly looking forward to this because, okay, remember I color code everything. So no, everything that comes into this house is going to trine your first house and will trine your Pluto. You know Pluto very well. Pluto is the planet of our wound, of trauma. And I am going to heal my trauma by healing my fifth house of my inner child. I am going to be childlike, Aquarius. I'm going to try and do new things that are crazy. Think outside the box. Aquarius energy is shock, surprise. Think about it's chaos, it's inspiration, it's liberation, it's change, it's rebellious, it's radical. Well, Pluto in your fifth house is offering you this. Yeah, I know you and Pluto go way back, whether you like it or not. Like you have learned to love Pluto. And so know that all of this that's going to be happening here when these planets go into Gemini, it'll be in trine with Pluto. This is saying, and this is why you went through this. And this is the healing that's going to come from this. See, because what happens is we know that it has to, like Scorpio energy, Pluto energy is about death and decay. And so the leaves fall off the trees and we think that the tree dies out and then it decomposes and then we plant the seeds. And in the spring is the birth of something. And so from all of this difficulty, from all of this transformation, the butterfly emerges. And so this is going to be a beautiful opportunity to grow, change, and evolve into who you are meant to be. and what you were meant to do. Like I'm absolutely loving this for you. And okay, one more thing that I'm going to throw out here. Because your North Node is in the 7th house, we know that you are initiating, going after partnerships, connections with others. Your North Node, the eclipses are going to happen this fall, and you're going to have an eclipse that will dip into your 12th house of, I need to like get rid of some karma. Like I need to rid myself of it. And you're going to be starting an 18-month cycle. And then in the spring, the North Node will dip into the 6th house and start to finish this cycle. It literally will stay here. Like you have 2 overlapping, 18 months and an 18 months, like the last 6 months they overlap of, I will affect you this much in order for you to transform over the longer period of time. Like Mercury stations retrograde 3 or 4 times a year. It's quick, hard, fast, boom, done, we forget it. The transformations that happen to you are longer, over a longer period of time. And so it takes longer to move through it, to get past it, to heal from it. And so when the North Node dips into the sign of Pisces, it's dreamy, it's belief, it's faith, and it's hope. And it's beautiful. It's surrender. And so I'm excited for like where you are going and where you are moving towards. So Che, I'm so glad that you and I know each other, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me. All right. Okay. The chat is, I'm sorry, the what do we call it? The queue has been closed, and I do have one more person. So, Awaken with Kat, I hope you join me in 2 weeks. Shiny Gems, what sign is the next eclipse going to be in? Okay, so they will overlap. So on September 18th, there's going to be a lunar eclipse, and then October 2nd will be a new a solar eclipse in Libra. So we're going to be, they will overlap each other. Hold on, let me pull this back over. I need to see it. In Libra. So you're going to be starting a new, around September 18th, you're going to have an eclipse in your 6th house. The 6th house is, I need to make all of my mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being a daily practice. Pisces. Pisces is watery, intuitive, psychic, spirituality, illusion. I need to make sure that I'm not escaping and I'm diving into mysticism and connecting to everything. And it will be a brand new chapter of surrender. It will trine all of this shenanigans. It's offering an opportunity to heal. So I'm glad to be on this journey with you. So thank you. All right. So let me move over to my last person is Fred. So thank you, Fred, for waiting patiently in the queue. Alrighty, let's see. I appreciate everybody waiting and hanging out tonight. Hopefully you join me for my Transit Talk webinar. I'm going to be discussing your South Node and your past lives, if you're comfortable with that. They are interactive. So the first 45 minutes is like a quickie lesson. And then the second 45 minutes is where we go over and share each other's charts and talk about things. All right, Fred, so there is no question with this. So that gives me free reign to skim around your chart. A stellium in your 12th house. So, okay, Mars and Pluto and Uranus. Okay, Pluto is known wherever we have it is, oh, forget this. I'm going to go, hold on, because this isn't a square. All right, let me back it up. All right, this is a huge, your South Node is your past. Mercury is here, it's conjunct your South Node, and Venus is here, conjunct your South Node. What opposes it is the how to move forward out of things. Like the South Node is where things where we bring in gifts and talents and opportunities from our past lives, but it's also where things went wrong and we're trying to repeat them. I believe that this is in a loose square to Mars. We call it a skipped step. I don't know if you can see it, but there is this red line that connects this to here and to here. We call it a skip step because you had all of this shenanigans going on with your past. Like things went terribly bad for you. A South Node in Sagittarius is generally somebody who was part of a belief, like following a religious leader or like a cult, or involved in somebody who had these high beliefs. And Mercury, somebody who walked it, talked it, you lost everything. Venus, it had to do with love and beauty, probably sex. And so there were a lot of things going on that had to do with just trust us, just have faith, just believe, leave your home. Like think about the Crusades and the belief that they had, that these people had in order to leave their homes. That's what happened to you. And so like we can go on and tell a huge story about it. But in this lifetime, you are supposed to be focusing in on, yes, I can travel. I need to, but I need to study it. I need to not just believe. I need to like look up the information. Gemini is find the facts, find the details, and find the balance between these two areas of your life. A skipped step is generally when somebody decides that in this lifetime, I want to speed some things up faster and give myself a square. With Mars, where do I initiate? How do I go after things? Because you're a Libra rising, naturally good looking, and you need to use caution about always being a people pleaser, being, like wanting to make everybody happy. I mean, your sun is in Capricorn, like slow and steady and with home, and your moon is Aquarius, like let your freak flag out. All right, so let's take a look at, I'm going to do a bi-wheel. And you will be on the inside wheel, Fred, and the outside wheel represents where the planets are right now in your life. Oh, you're having a Jupiter return. Okay, I love this. All right, so let's talk about this house first and this house. So the North Node is the direction in which you're supposed to be going. It is in trine to yours. I don't know if you were here earlier when I said I color code everything to make it easier to like see at a glance. But Aries is a fire sign. Your South Node is also a fire sign. This means it's in trine to. It's helping you. It's in a sextile, meaning North Node. I need to do this in order to move forward here. So the North Node in your 7th house, something was initiated back in September, October that you said, I need to go after people, best friends, significant others, clients, love, relationship. I need to go after one-on-one partnerships or one-on-one relationships or negotiations that have to do with work, or it's you initiating those topics. Less focus on people pleasing and more focus on taking back your power and stepping into your divinity, stepping into your power. Aries energy is, where have I given away my energy? Where have I given away my power? And having clear boundaries for it. As you are doing this, all of this is also going on. You had a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction back in April. You had an eclipse, so let's go back. March, you had an eclipse that had to do with releasing some things that had to do with your first house of self, changing the way you look, changing your appearance, your personality. It had something to do with, it could have had something to do with a project or an activity that you started. The first house is like your business card or your website. So there was a release or a let go or a finishing of sort. It could have been, I met my weight loss goal, or I have changed my name, how I want to be known. I want to be known as a healer. You've changed something. And then April 8th, you initiated something. You went after somebody, a contract or negotiation, or something that had to do with you moving forward with Aries energy. At the same time, Jupiter has been with Uranus for the last year in your 8th house of shared resources. How can I pay off debt? How can I make the best of my investments? The 8th house is debts, obligations, taxes, inheritances, wills. It's the house of deep bonding, and Uranus really made everything volatile, shook up all of these things that were going on for you, and started and expanded, like gave you the opportunity to, somebody might have passed away, but it gave me money to pay off this debt, or I made money off of this, or it's about paying off, and it's abundance of. Uranus is shock and surprise. Venus is money, love, resources. So there could have been contracts or negotiations with family members, business partners, or significant others, or it's the house of exes, because there's alimony and child support. So all of those topics could have been in here. You are having a Jupiter return this last year. It will end this Saturday. It's going to be ending this Saturday. So know that whatever happened this last year, you're now starting a new 12-year cycle. So you have to say, what has happened to me? My money, my investments, my resources. The 8th house is also the house of these joint ventures, and it's psychological. It's birth, death, rebirth. It's the transformation of deep psychological healing. It's like where we can get counseling and mentoring, but we don't share that with others. Like the 6th house is finding the counselor, the mentor. The 8th house is understanding it and transforming it, like healing from it. And so any of those topics, you're now going to be starting a new Jupiter cycle. The sun has already moved into your 9th house. I want to travel there. I want to connect with these people. I want to take this class. I want to publish this. Legal matters. Your 9th house holds your north node, the direction in which you're supposed to be moving towards. Learning, teaching, traveling, sharing your ideas, putting them down on paper, putting them down on the computer. I would not say paper, because it's putting your thoughts and ideas into something, using science and technology, using AI. With this full moon, the moon is going to be in your 3rd house. There's going to be something that you're going to end. This could be an ending of a class or workshop or publishing or friends, neighbors, siblings. It's like activating all of your south node of what do I need to leave behind. And with that, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter is going to move into your 9th house. It's taking all this energy and saying, I need to start a new chapter, a new 12-month, 12-year chapter, because Uranus is going to be in your 9th house in July of 2025. So shocking, surprising, everything that's going on is moving you into sharing what you know with other people that are far and wide. And what does that look like? Does that mean you going and speaking somewhere, you sharing the information? It's taking what you know and connecting with other people through airwaves and using science and technology and making your life easier with science and technology. Like, how can I do that with? I'm going to look in the chat to see if all of this is making sense to you.
So Fred is actually Michelle.
Okay.
Spiritual beginning.
Okay, spiritual beginnings. Oh, okay, got it. Fred is actually Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you can see it. I've had a few lives like this. Okay, if you're comfortable talking about that, let me skim around the chart and talk about that. Okay, you're also having your Saturn return, your second, because we're about the same age. Okay, so a second Saturn return means that and so I'm speaking about age. I'm just going to go there. We're having our second Saturn return. So the first 29, 30 years of our life, we were living out our south node. We were living and trying to figure out, where did I come from? What gifts did I bring in with me? And where do I move going forward? And then the second 29, 30, 28, 29, 30 years of our life, did I pick the right mountain and did I move towards the right goal? Our last third, we're supposed to be looking at life and saying, how do I share my wisdom? Who do I connect up with? How do I do this? Jupiter in your ninth house means you need to be taking a class, teaching a class, a workshop, doing some kind of training, taking what you know and sharing it with others, and diving deep into religion or spirituality or legal, anything that has to do with learning or traveling. I want to go there and experience it. Those are things that you should be doing. When it sits on top of your north node, it will be, I cannot not go there and see it. I cannot not experience it. I'm pulled. I need to do this. It will pull you into this direction. And then in 2025, Uranus is going to join this house, and it will rock your world as to, I never thought I could do this. I never thought that this could happen. I absolutely love this for you, because all of this moving into this house is going to trine your first house of self, and it's going to trine your Pluto. The Pluto is where things have to transform. Things have to die out and be reborn. And so the fifth house is the house of giving birth. I always say that I'm too old to give birth to a child, but I can give birth to projects and art and music and creativity. It's self-expression. And how can I now express myself moving forward and explore these avenues? So I keep wanting to call you Fred, but it's Michelle. Michelle, I am excited for you as you go down this path, because this will be an opportunity to explore different avenues of your life that you knew were out there, and it's time. Now, is it all going to be easy? No, it's not. You still need some healthy boundaries. There's some things going on, but the gifts that come with this are amazing. Okay, so one more thing, since I'm talking about difficulties, this is a free and open period, May, June, and July, free and open period to launch things, begin. Mercury, the next time Mercury stations retrograde, is going to be in your 11th house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. You will have to rethink. Can I really do that? Can I really go there? Do I really want to do it with that person? Do I really want to, I used to volunteer all the time, once a year with a specific group. And then came a time when I thought, I don't have that kind of time, effort, or energy, because it was out of state for a longer period of time. I had to say, I now need to align with better, with different in my life. There will be some shifts or some changes. You might, when Mercury stations retrograde in the 11th house, I need to go back and look at an old goal. I need to rethink this. Groups that you join, collections, a community of people, you'll rethink it. And then December and January, Mars is going to be retrograde, having you cut people, places, and things from that area of your life. So little heads up. Not a bad, give it something to cut. Just say, this no longer resonates with me, and it'll be an easier cut. Where is your Mars? In your 12th house. You're coming up on a Mars return. So January, February, you're going to be having a new 2-year cycle in your life. So I keep wanting to call you Fred, but it's not. Spiritual Beginnings, Michelle. So Michelle, I really, really appreciate you trusting me with your consultation. And if you'd like to dive in a little bit deeper, you can always connect with a private consultation, and we can map out your year. Or you guys can join me on a webinar. So I really appreciate all of you. I hope that you join me for my next webinar. I hope you join me for my next live. It'll be in 2 weeks. So we have a full moon this week, then there's a week off, and then there will be the new moon webinar. I'm sorry, webinar. In 2 weeks, I will have the next live, and in 3 weeks, I will have the South Node webinar. Remember that it is an interactive experience, so I only allow a specific amount of people into the class, and we do it live. And if you cannot do it live, you can watch it later afterwards, the replay of it. But it's to teach like an intro for the first 45 minutes, and then the second 45 minutes we literally use your charts as examples. So hopefully you all join me or think about it. So looking in the chat, hey honey York, I greatly appreciate you being here. Yep, full moon Thursday, birthday Friday. Happy birthday. And on Friday is the Jupiter enters Gemini. What a solar return that's going to be for you. Hey Angie, you have a great night. Angie, I appreciate all of you for being here, so thank you very much. I heart you.